management, they assume two things. One is that I'm always on time.
Is that I'm always on time. And
I'm not.
I
I have four small children, and I have like to blame them for my occasional tardiness, but sometimes it's just not their fault. I was once late to my own speech on time management. We all had to just take a moment together and savor that irony. The second thing that I have lots of tips and tricks, heap saving time here and there. Sometimes I'll hear from magazines that are doing a story along these lines on how to help their readers find an extra hour in the day. And the idea that we'll shave bits of time of everyday activities and add it up. And you'll have time for good stuff. I question the entire premise of this piece, but I'm always interested in hearing what they've come up with before they call me. Some of my favorites. Doing errands when you only have to make right-hand turns. Being extremely judicious in microwaves. It says 3 to 3.5 minutes on the package, but totally getting it on the bottom side of that. And my personal favorite, which makes sense of some level, is to DVR your favorite shows so you can fast further through the commercials. That way you shave 8 minutes every half hour. So in course of 2 hours of watching TV, you'll find 32 minutes to exercise. Which is true. You know another way to find 32 minutes to exercise? Don't watch 2 hours of TV a day, right? Anyway, the idea is we'll shave bits of times here and there, and we'll find that thing we want to do. But after studying how successful people spend their time, and looking their hour by hour, I think this idea has it completely backward. We don't build the lives we want by saving time. We build the lives we want, and then time saves itself. Here's what I mean. I recently did a time diary project, looking at 101 days in the lives of extremely busy women. They had many jobs, sometimes their own businesses, kids to care for, maybe parents to care for, community commitments, busy people. I had them keep track of their time for a week, so I could add up how much they worked and slept, and interview them about their strategies for my book. One of them whose time log I studied, she goes out for one night for something. She comes home to find that her water heater has broken, and there's no water all over her basement. If you have anything like this happen to you, you know it is hugely damaging sopping mess.
So
She's dealing with the immediate after that night.
Next day,
Day
she's
she
got
goes plumbers coming
Day
in.
after that, professional cleaning crew
Day after
doing
that,
the
professional cleaning
carpet.
crew cleaning, dealing
All
with the
this is
ruined
being
carpet.
recorded on her time log.
It's being recorded in her
Winds
time
up
log.
taking 7 hours.
Winds up taking 7 hours of her week.
7
7 hours. That's like finding an extra hour in the day. But I'm sure if you had skipped her at the start of the week, find 7 hours to train for a triathlon. Could you find 7 hours to mentor 7 worthy people? I'm sure she was 7. What most of us will say? No. Can you see how busy I am? How busy I am. Yes, when she found 7 hours, because there is water all over her basement. She found 7 hours. And what she thought that at that time is highly elastic. Can't make more time. But time will stretch to accommodate what we choose to put into it. And so the key to time management is treating our priorities as the equivalent of the broken war hero. And to get at this, I like to use language from one of the busiest people I ever interviewed. By busy, I mean she's running a small business with 12 people on the payroll. She had 6 children in her spare time. I was getting in touch with her to set up an interview and how she had it all, that phrase. I remember it was a Thursday morning and she was not available to speak with me. Of course, right? But the reason she was unavailable to speak with me is she was out for a hike. Because it was a beautiful spring morning and she wanted to go for a hike. So of course this makes me even more intrigued. And when I finally do catch up with her, she explained it like this. Listen, Laura, everything I do, every minute I spend is my choice. And other than say, I don't have time to do X, Y, or Z. She said, I don't do X and Y or Z because it's not a priority. To have time often means it's not a priority. It's not a priority. If you think about it, that's really more accurate language. I could tell you I don't have time to do my plans, but that's not true. If you offer to pay me 100,000 to dust my blinds, I will get to pretty quickly. Since that is not going to happen, I can acknowledge that this is not a matter of lacking time. It's that I don't want to do it. It's that I don't want to do it. Using this language reminds us that time is a choice. And granted, there may be horrible consequences for making different choices. I'll give you that. But but we are smart people, and certainly over the long run, we have the power to fill our lives with the things that deserve to be there. So how do we do that? How do we treat our priorities as the equivalent of the broken water heater? Well, first we need to figure out what they are. I want to give you two strategies for thinking about this. The first on the professional side. I'm sure many people coming up to the end of the year and giving or getting annual performance reviews. You look back over your success over the year. Your powers need for growth. And this serves its purpose. But I found it more effective to do this looking forward. So I want you to pretend it's the end of the next year. You're giving yourself a performance review. And it has been an absolutely amazing year for you professionally. Right next, what 3 to 5 things did you do to make it so amazing? So you can write next year's performance review now. And you can do this for your personal life too. And I'm sure many of you, like me, come December, get a card that contains these folded up sheets of colored paper, on which is written what is known as the family holiday letter. Bit of a wretched journey of lectures, really, going on now about how amazing everyone in the household is, or even more telling, how busy everyone in the household is. But these letters serve a purpose, which is that they tell your friends and family what you did in your personal life that mattered to you over the year. So this year's kind of done, but I want you to pretend it's the end of the next year. And it has been an absolutely amazing year for you and the people you care about. What 3 to 5 things did you that made it so amazing? So you can write next year's family holiday letter now. Don't send it. Please, don't send it. Don't send it. You can write it. And now between the performance review and the family holiday letter, we have a list of 6 to 10 goals we can work on the next year. And now we need to break these down into double steps. Maybe you want to write a family history. First, you can read some other family histories to get a sense of this style. Then maybe think about the question you want to ask your relatives. Set up appointments to interview them. Or maybe you want to rank. So you need to find a race and sign up. Figure out a training plan and dig those shoes out of the pack of the closet. And then, this is key. We treat our priorities as the equivalent of the broken water heater by putting them into our schedule first. We do this by thinking through our weeks before we are in them. I find a really good time to do this is Friday afternoons. Friday afternoon is what an accountant might call a low opportunity cost time. Most of us are not sitting there on Friday afternoon saying, I'm excited to make progress towards my personal and professional priorities right now, right? But we're willing to think about what those should be. So, so take a little bit of time Friday afternoon. Make yourself a 3-category priorities list: career, relationships, self. Making a 3-category list reminds us that there should be something in all 3 categories. Career, we think about. Relationships, self, not so much. But anyway, just a short list, 2 or 3 items in each. Then look out over the whole of the next week and see what you can plan them in, and see where you plan them in is. I know this is going to be more complicated for some people than others. I mean, people's lives are just harder than others. It's not going to be easy to find the time to take that poetry class if you're caring for multiple children in your own. I get this. And I don't want to minimize anyone's struggle. But I do think that the numbers I'm about to tell you are empowering. There are 168 hours in the week. 24 times 7 is 1. 24 times 7 is 168 hours. That's a lot of time. If you are working a full-time job, so 40 hours a week, sleeping 8 hours a night, so 56 hours a week, that leaves 72 hours for other things. That's a lot of time. Say you are working 50 hours a week, maybe a main job and a side hustle. Well, that leaves 62 hours for other things. You say you work 60 hours. The 52 hours for other things. Working more than 60 hours. Well, are you sure? There was once a study comparing people's estimates work weeks with time diaries. They found that people claiming 70 plus hours work a week were off by about 25 hours. You can guess in which direction, right? Anywhere in 160 hours a week, I think we can find time for what matters to you. If you want to spend more time with your kids, if you want to study more for tests you are taking, you want to exercise for 3 hours and volunteers for 2, you can. And that's even if you are working way more than full-time hours. So we have plenty of time, which is great. Because guess what? We don't even need that much time to do amazing things. But the most of us, have bits of time. What do? Pull out the phone, right? Starting deleting emails. Otherwise, we are putting around the house or watching TV. But small moments can have great power. You can use your parts of time for bits of joy. Maybe it's choosing to read something wonderful on the bus, on the way to work. I know when I had a job that requires 2 bus rides and the subway ride every morning, I used to go to the library on weekday to get stuff to read. It made the whole experience almost enjoyable. Breaks at work can be used for meditating or praying. A family dinner is that because of your crazy work schedule. Maybe family breakfast could be a good substitute. Be a good substitute. It's about looking at the whole of one's time and seeing where the good stuff can go. I truly believe this. There is a time. Even if we were busy, we have time for what matters. And when we focus on what matters, we can build the lives we want in the time we have got. Thank you.